What's up, everyone? I've been reading this magazine article or interview that Farrell did way back, and it's pretty long. Here's some more pictures and stuff. This is a picture of, if I could get this to focus, this is a picture of Dax and Worf. I don't know what episode, but yeah. It says here on the bottom, Worf will suffer greatly when Dax dies. If this kiss is any hint, but Farrell says that Michael Dorn is not sad to see me go, because we're good friends. And this is another picture of Dax, and I forget who the other character was. And it says here, Dax gets rejoined with ex-spouse Lenara Susanna Thompson. Would Worf do likewise if Dax returned as a man? I just don't see it, admits Farrell. And on the other page is a picture of Dax and some people. And this looks like a party. What is this? What are these? Is this going to focus? Come on. I'm just trying to focus to see what the heck. I don't even know. I don't know what that is. Some kind of dish or something. Anyway, so it's a picture of Dax and some other people. It says here, fascination was fun and comedic and off the wall, says Farrell, here offering food to an over-coiffed Roxana Troy, Majel Barrett Roddenberry. And there is another Dax picture that says, Farrell enjoyed playing God, especially since she got to harass fellow Trill Ergin Jeffrey Blake, her boyfriend, on TV's Paper Dolls. Alright, so I left off at when I was reading the article, and I left off at, that's when I started to get a little more comfortable with it. I also loved wearing the wedding dress in You Are Cordially Invited. Of course, You Are Cordially Invited and Change of Heart stand as Farrell's two biggest season 6 episodes, excepting Tears of the Prophets. In Invited, Dax and Worf finally tie the knot, while the battle-heavy Heart explored the limits Worf and Dax would go for each other. For the most part, I loved You Are Cordially Invited. It was great that I got to outwit Sorella, Shannon Cochran. I looked up her family history and really nailed her on that. That was a good idea on the writer's part to use Dax's smarts to get Sorella, Farrell notes. The bachelorette party Dax had was no doubt the best party period that I ever saw on DS9. It was a hoot. I got to play hungover, which was so much fun. I know this sounds silly, but to have mascara running a little bit was such a big deal on that show. You never have mascara run, much less lipstick out of place when you're fighting. The only thing that was odd to me was that even though the wedding was a last-minute thing, no one no one from my family was there. If there was anything missing during my 6 years of DS9, it was that Dax talked about her family, but we never saw anyone. Dax even went to Trill, but how going there affected her was never investigated, other than how it affected her health. Didn't she ever... Oh wow. Sorry. Didn't she ever miss home or the people in her life? Did they ever miss her? I know she was willing to throw it all away for Lenara, Susanna Thompson, and rejoined, but Trill must have meant something to me. That's really my one great complaint. Change of Heart was the first time that you really got to see Dax experience the pain of letting go of something. I liked that episode, but it would have worked even better if there had been some intercuts of the Jem'Hadar. Even though we killed those guys, you never saw that others were still after us. If you had, you would have felt a greater sense of urgency. One thing I liked was that you saw that a Klingon would put his wife before duty. There haven't been too many big revelations about the Klingons since Worf came on, and it was nice to see one that was so important. Farrell's future. When DS9 returns for its 7th season, Farrell intends to tune in. It'll be fun to see what they do. Worf has got to be tortured. He has just got to be tortured. He'll have to move back onto the... What? He'll have to move back onto the Defiant and mourn for a while. It took a lot for him to devote himself to Dax, and now she has been taken away. Much noise has already been made by fans about the possibility that the Dax symbiont could wind up in a male character. Such a development would certainly generate excitement and controversy, but it's likely just too risky a move for the DS9 powers that be to consider. It would be interesting if they replaced Dax with a guy, but I just don't see it. There are two main problems with the idea, Farrell suggests. Number one, I can't see Michael saying yes to it, but if he does, I want to see I want to see the full-on kiss. I want to be there for it. They were all there for mine in Rejoin, and I want to see his. Number two, I really think they'll either go with the characters they have left, or if they bring in someone new, that it would have to be a woman. Right now, Kira is the only female character, the only ensemble female character. I'm sure Nana would love to have another woman around. Just as Farrell will still watch DS9, she won't forever abandon either the convention circuit or SF projects in general. I'll still do the occasional convention. I'll still talk with people who want to know about my time on Star Trek, she promises. I would also do more genre projects. Why not? I don't worry about being associated too much with SF at all. If George Lucas called me about one of the next Star Wars movies, I would be there in an instant. If they did DS9 the movie and they wanted me to play Dax in it, I would absolutely do it. I would even play another character. I have no problem with that at all. For now, though, it's over. The deed is done. The Trill is gone. Farrell has moved on with a bright future before her and behind her. 6 years of growth as a person, as an actress. She closes the Star Trek chapter in her career with the hope that the viewing audience enjoyed having Dax as a part of their lives as much as she enjoyed playing Dax, that they took away from the half-ancient, half-naive Trill even a fraction of what she did. Jadzia taught me not to make any choices out of fear and to love yourself. She taught me that if you can't accept yourself for who you are, nobody else will. I desperately needed to learn those things, not just hear them, but learn them and live them. Terrell Farrell concludes, I got to do that, and I am very lucky. I'm a very fortunate woman to have lived the experiences Jadzia gave me. If anybody else, the other characters or the people who watched the show and liked the character, got any of that from Jadzia, I'm even happier. Oh, and it looks like that was the end of that interview or article that Terry did. What is this? Sorry, I just had to zoom in and check out this photo real quick. Man, that must be a 90s thing. Yo, that is, I don't even know. And so yeah, that was the end of that article. This is just some old school stuff, you know, from back in the day, you know, back in the 90s. Back when they had this, you know, 007 stuff, Godzilla stuff. Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, some of the original Godzillas or remakes or whatever. That was actually a pretty big thing or big deal back in the back then. The Godzilla stuff. I kinda remember those. I mean, I don't really now since it's been, you know, like, you know, 10 or 20 years, but so it's a picture. Queen of Swords. Zorro. Oh yeah. Man, I don't remember a lot of this stuff. That was a thing about Zorro. And yeah, I remember seeing that. Like the movie or TV thing or whatever, but I don't really remember anything about it. I was just a you know, of course back then I was just a little kid, so I mean I don't really remember too much about that or those things, or even the Terry article, the Terry Farrell article or interview that I just read. I don't really remember that. I don't remember that from back then, from way back, because it's just been so long that I've just forgotten about a lot of these really old, you know, things and, you know, stuff. New. Maybe not anymore or not now, but yeah, cool stuff. And that was that.